But yeah, I wanted to ask you, why does 2025 feel like a lot of good music's come out this year. We're gonna go through and speak about and spotlight some artists, but I don't know. It doesn't feel like the best year for UK rap. It feels like a lot of the things that I've enjoyed for that month, and then I'm on to the next. And it doesn't necessarily mean it's fast food music, because as I've revisited, it's still quality.
It's still good, yeah.
But it just doesn't feel like it's lived as long as I feel like it used to. Compared to other years, like maybe
I feel like there's
2017
also
and
an
stuff.
element where it's just like, I don't know. I don't think there has been. Obviously, you've had like, I don't know, big names have dropped in terms of Dave, Central Cee, Little Sims,
DBE,
yeah, but
Chip.
yeah.
A lot of people have dropped. Whether you like them or not, I'm saying a lot of
people have dropped, but then there's also a lot of people who haven't dropped. Like Skepta was supposed to drop, that didn't happen.
Stormzy hasn't.
J Hus dropped like a little EP, which is solid, but that was like a big project. Stormzy didn't, Gigs didn't. Guess it's a whole different situation. So it's like whilst there's also been like a level of I guess a lack of like work out there, there's also an element where it's like, I don't know. I feel like there's just a bit of complacency where the bigger artists who we, again, previously considered to be like the guys aren't necessarily this. We're not recording right now, are we?
No, we are.
Okay, cool. But yeah, what's it? The guys who are like considered like the main guys, I think it's just a case where it's like there's a little bit of a complacency, I feel, where I feel like could be a thing of like them getting comfortable. And again, it's just a case where we're seeing like a natural shift in terms of going to, I don't know, there's an underground scene that's obviously popping off, and there's a lot of new other artists emerging as well, which are just making things a lot more interesting. Audience, what's the word? Demand is just shifting as well. The guys who are obviously just seen as the prominent ones before, it's just like we don't necessarily, like people don't have the patience to like wait for their work as much. So it's like guys are just veering elsewhere. You know, seeing a lot of other artists get popular. Kofi Stone, Koji. Who else is there?
Would you say they're getting popular, or are they just receiving maybe their flowers? I don't know if they're necessarily, like, for example, I know we would listen to Kofi Stone, but sometimes I think on a mainstream aspect, is Kofi Stone now, would you say he's now a star?
He ain't a mainstream star. Thing is, there's also a little thing. So it's like, for example, like even Little Sims. Little Sims is like a big artist, but it was only like until recently that she was getting her flowers. But mainly, that was one where it's like she's getting her flowers in the States mainly. Before it was a case where it's like the UK started rating her really.
NFL would be speaking about her, like a bunch of like podcasts there.
Yeah,
and even like I've had like, so like I had a clip earlier this year where I was like, I think Clavish for a mainstream UK audience, people will know more of his songs than Lil Sims. And then Lil Sims fans will, you see how you said, of course, you're a reasonable person. But then, and then people on TikTok were not guarding me down, but Lil Sims fans were like, no, Lil Sims is this, she's got this song, she's got that song, Venom did this, it did that. But I think there's so many different niches and pockets where
100%.
It feels like Lil Sims knows who she is. She knows she's not going to be... She's not competing with nines and
of course. That's not her lane.
She knew herself from the start. So what she did, she curated and made music for her audience, grew that audience to a point now she's a star. And it feels like when the UK's looking for superstars, we're like, oh wait, technically she's one of our own because she's British, but she didn't kind of go through the avenue that a lot of people would say a British star would have to go through.
I think, no, obviously that's a very fair point. I think there's just like a rise of guys who came through more of like a hip hop cloth, or like more, I guess closer to that cloth than drill, road rap, even though there's obviously like similarities and some type of parallels. It's like, it's not the same kind of lane that obviously she came through, but you don't necessarily have to like rely on a solely British audience anymore. I feel like it's also just a case where, you know, with like globalization and just an increased reach and audience, and the ability for, I don't know, I guess for artists to kind of test the waters elsewhere, you can receive your flowers elsewhere and get love elsewhere. And I think a lot of people are just seeing that path and are just kind of running with it. So that's kind of a reason why, I don't know, guys like, for example, like Headie is another one where the reception for like his last album last year, that one was one where it's like, okay, he's considered as like one of the GOATs within his particular space, but he's another one where I guess in terms of like recent work it hasn't received as much like love as like a Golden Boot or a, it's just, I don't know, we're just going through like it's a weird process that we're kind of going through. So it's a weird shift, but I also feel like it's necessary because I think guys who came through that kind of mode, it's just a case where it's like there's just a level of growth that needs to be executed and reached personally. And I don't know, I think it's just a case where it's like I just want to see a bit more experimentation on that side. But I guess with
Headie, to like speak about him briefly, I think he's in no man's land where the drill storyline, I think every artist has like narratives and storyline that the fans like buy into, and I feel like Headie One's narrative and storyline, obviously sometimes it's the beef, sometimes it's dealing with prison and how you want to grow as an artist. But I feel like he's released so many projects where he's damn near tackled he's been the boss.
No, true.
He's been the boss for the younger generation, ushering them in with like sort of like SJ, Bandit, all the younger OFB lot. He's been the drill superstar. He's had different eras to where now he's kind of in no man's land where it's like what left is there? Because he's got two tapes for me. One that's definitely a classic in Drillers and Trappers, where it's like he's already got that. He's got solo bodies of work that Headie One fans love, and then it's like whether it be Edna, Music X, like he's got those periods of time where it's like now as we're approaching like the late 2020s, what else does
there to do? I mean, that's a fair point.
Like a song like Bellingham, for example, if that came out 4 years ago,
they will do numbers.
But now it's like...
No, but that's the thing. It's just a case where it's like, it's for them to kind of be inventive. Like, it's not for us to come and like tell you what we necessarily want from you. It's like, you're the artist, you tell your own story. You have to kind of find out what kind of pockets are left to kind of explore. Obviously, it's never an easy thing, but I think what you're saying is a very fair point.
That's why they're going to pay the big bucks.
That's what I'm saying. But it's like, it's not for us to like, we're just consumers at the end of the day, innit? We can't really decide what the next story is. Obviously, you can like go and explore someone's discography and then try to figure out, okay, he hasn't really touched on this. It's like a little bit of a thing with the whole narrative with like Dave's project, where like a lot of people kind of felt, even me, I thought that project, I don't even know what your thoughts were on that project, but we'll get into it. Now, my one was like, I feel like that project was calm. I just feel like it was kind of like half-baked, in my opinion, in terms of like the exploration of the introspection. Kind of felt half-baked. I liked the idea of what's the word? I like the idea of the
biblical themes.
The biblical themes, but also just like the acknowledgement of a hypocrisy and like basically standing on it. I like that, even though I was kind of a bit confused by it. But it's like I like that aspect in terms of like owning up to it and just kind of showing people just like, I'm a normal human being like you, man. I'm not no savior. But I also feel like some of the aspects could have probably just been delved into a little bit more. And yeah, that was like my main criticism of that one. And I feel like it's also something that kind of relates into like other projects as well. Like for example, like even Tiny Boost projects, a little bit of me was kind of feeling like, okay, cool, it was solid, but there was also aspects of like, I don't know, there's more pockets and there's more themes that can be dived into in terms of like the levels of introspection, where it's like, I don't know, you have very, very unique stories in terms of you guys coming from very having very hard upbringings, you know, doing certain activity that most people don't want to do. There's a lot of levels in terms of like, I don't know, grief, sorrow, like, but in terms of also like maneuvering with that kind of strife or with that kind of with those issues into a place where it's like you're trying to become like a now full-fledged artist. Like there's a lot of angles that you can kind of come at it with that I feel like we don't do as much as we'd like to generally. Yeah. And I think that's also just, I don't know, that's also just an element of like a bunch of different road rappers personally. But that's something I want to express like in another form.
No, definitely, because like I'm like working on like a Meek Mill video that I've got in mind.
Fair.
But and especially that championships, wins and losses era. Because Meek Mill, I wouldn't even say he's that far for the Tiny Boost in terms of subject matter, especially in the early days. Yeah. And I think what made that championships era so impactful is he said, you know what, prison reform, I've gone through this. This is an issue that affects black men throughout society, especially in America. And I'm going to tackle how this can lead to a father not being present in the home and how that affected me personally, even though his father was like killed. But like besides the point, like he knows what it feels like to grow up without a father. He knows what it feels like to be taken away from your son, and your son is not able to be in your life. All these different types of things. I feel like he really explored that. And I'm gonna even re-listen to that album again. But fair. The fact that whenever I think about that album, I'm like, no, it's not just like I'm shooting up, I'm killing everyone. Even though there's songs on there that are like that to obviously market the project, but there's actual depth for it. You could actually feel like someone's sitting in their prison cell and they've actually thought about, no, this system is wrong. Like when the pawn realizes, not the pawn, but like, you know how in society where Meat Mill would be at the bottom of the social totem pole. When that person actually looks up and realizes, no, wait, like
there's actually more beyond me.
Beyond.
That's kind of like out of my control.
At first you're rapping from the perspective of I'm trying to get out of the streets, but when you actually get to the point where you like have money, you realize, no, wait, like there's actual forces that are stopping me.
And that's kind of impacted how I kind of like maneuver in everyday life in terms of like, I don't know, maybe like trust issues. Just a bunch of different things. So
So, and then to go back to the Dave point, I think this Dave album, it's kind of like his. I don't want. No, actually, no, I'm not gonna say.
Did you?
I was gonna.
Did you enjoy it?
I did. Did it? I did. Okay. So my first time listening to it, I was like, no, this is way too heavy. I was working.
Wow.
I was just like, you listen to a song like Selfish, and he's like kind of just venting like all his insecurities. And for me personally, you listen to it, and like, especially from where we're from, we relate in terms of Dave is kind of damn near a 1-to-1 of like my life growing up, where when I was younger, we were going through the same experience. I've grown really, every moment Dave's grown, it feels like I've grown at the same rate.
Fair.
So when he's just pouring out his insecurities and stuff, it's like, this is really heavy. But then what I've done is I've just taken, like every couple weeks, I'll just take one song from the album, I'll just
then
spin
just
it.
Kinda, okay, fair.
And for me, I feel like this album is kind of the result of the other, like all his decisions before, it kind of created this album where...
You think they've compounded basically?
Yeah, like his album, We're All Alone in This Together, where he's damn near at the top of the game. He's got another #1 album. He's got a song with Stormzy that's going crazy. I mean, Split Decisions as well, that's gone crazy. It feels like he can't lose, but now this album shows that no, maybe I am...
You still can.
Like there's a personal aspect that is a bit hollow that
100%.
he still needs to work on. I feel like that was really eye-opening in terms of one of probably the most successful black men in this country is openly saying like, I'm still there's still like not the same kind of problems, but like there's similar kind of feeling of where it's like he kind of, obviously both of us are gonna connect to the original Dave that we saw before, Black Box Dave, Two Birds No Stones Dave, where it's like there's still like a void that he's trying to fill, and that void initially was just a case of like trying to fulfill that dream of being an artist, but it's like now that he's obviously made it, there's still that kind of void, and I think it speaks to a lot of issues that we're seeing from like a lot of artists in terms of like, okay, you're at the top of the game, but there's still a lot of issues at hand that a lot of artists deal with, and I kind of like the angle that he came with in terms of like presenting it as bare as he did. I think that was like the main takeaway from the album that I really liked, just to like kind of present to people that it's like, okay, you might think that these guys are actually, they're living it nice, but there's still some type of like underlying struggle and challenge that they face just like normal people. And sometimes we kind of, I think I was hearing it from like one podcast or something where it's like people kind of feel like through their messages, they feel like they have to kind of keep to a certain image and play to like be a certain avatar because of what they present. However, just like us, they're like normal humans where it's like they're gonna have certain thoughts, they're gonna have certain ideologies, but they're still gonna like contradict themselves sometimes, you know what I mean? And again, that was like kind of the whole purpose of what the album basically represented. So obviously in terms of like the actual album itself, there were still some things that I kind of thought like, there was like some things that were like left to be desired. Where like, for example, the first song, History, I was just kind of like, okay. I love that song.
I
love that song.
Same mums.
Yeah. I didn't like 175 bucks. But
really?
Yeah, I know, that's the thing.
Cool. Yeah, what opposite?
Yeah, exactly. I think that album, I don't think it's necessarily his best body of work.
Yeah, fair.
But I feel like when you build a discography, that album is really important for you. I feel like that album, things can still happen in life where you could still be sad or whatever.
100.
But I think that album for me felt very like cathartic, where it was like he's just let go of
like all kind of standards basically.
Yeah, and I feel like when you listen to Psychodrama, drama doesn't really end on like a positive note.
Yeah.
Like when you listen to that, it's like his brother's voicemail from, not voicemail, but like call from prison.
Yeah.
But like when you hear him rapping in drama at the first half, he doesn't sound like I've won, I've done, I've achieved this great thing. It still sounds like there's a person with pain. And the same can be said for it doesn't necessarily end on happy notes, whereas the boy who played the harp, it feels like he's realised, okay, I'm meant to be a leader for my generation. And even though, and like when he speaks about him speaking to ancestors and stuff, I really enjoyed that bit, because it's like, sometimes we get caught up in, is protesting worth it? Is this worth it? Are we really doing anything for Palestine by just saying stuff on social media? But it feels like he's actually realised, you know what I'm doing now, even if it's just sparking thoughts.
Basically.
This is the vehicle. I am making an impact, even if it feels like, because sometimes, especially on the internet, like you will know this, you post content and it feels like it's just going into the void.
100%.
Obviously, people will be responding to it. Like videos might do well, but it feels like it's just going into this ether.
Like there isn't any impact that's really kind of
but like you've put in so much of you could put so much of your soul into like a piece of content, and it just
like, damn.
And then you just see like the next video, and it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like it's
the thing that you basically envisioned doesn't like materialize kind of thing.
Into that thing, and it feels like with Dave's album, it ended on a note where I was like, I'm excited to hear the next one.
No,
but I feel like this album, Dave fans will appreciate it, but I don't know if it's necessarily one of those projects where it's meant to grow Dave as a brand. I don't think that's why.
Well, I mean, I think it's different because I feel like it's kind of like an altering of the brand more time. I think it's more just a case of him kind of steering away. Obviously, coming off of like a split decision where it's like everyone's just thinking, I want bangers, I want I want Jaya kind of songs. But I think it's also a case where it's like, okay, the pensive, not conscious, but like reflective Dave that we all kind of grew up on, is still there, but it's at a different angle now where it's like, okay, cool, I have come up through the game, I'm at the top. There's obviously different things that I'm dealing with, but it's like I know I kind of acknowledge my responsibility, and I want more people to kind of like develop that similar level of thinking. So, and it's not to say that he's obviously going to be perfect within it, but it's just to encourage people to obviously have that kind of thought and have that consideration when, I don't know, looking at serious matters. So, I don't know. I thought generally it was calm. I feel like the only thing for me is just that I think I mess with the message more than what was like
the product.
There. Yeah.
I agree. Like it does have like Psychodrama, I play front to back.
Fair.
All of Those Together is not my favorite album, but I'll play it.
I think it's
but like as a body of work, I'll play it front to back. But this one, it feels like there are 6 songs that I love.
Fairs.
But I won't play it front to back. But then I could, like, if I'm going for a run.
Oh no, I'm not playing no run.
No, but do you know what it is? When I'm going for a run, I'm already happy.
Yeah,
so it's
fair,
like
fair. It can
yeah,
run.
like it kind of levels it out.
Yeah.
But I can't be like sad and because that will just drop
100%,
me to like a level where it's like it's not healthy. But
you're paying 27th birthday, you're gonna be thinking, fuck.
Yeah, exactly. Nah. That's why I say I go for a run, because like I'm not sitting down and think, like, you know, when you're sitting down and you're just listening to music and like it's really sad music, you can almost like just get into like a depressive state where you're just flat. But it's like if you're on the move, you're moving, like it doesn't stick with you, but you're still able to comprehend.
When you were listening to the album, what state were you listening? Like, so you said
I was working, but like I'm sitting down typing.
Okay, nah,
and then
that was definitely not the right environment for that.
And then you hear it, and then but like for example, DBE's project.
You listen to that?
Yeah.
Freaking hell.
No, but like for example, but I'm a person where if I'm gonna make a video or something, I have to listen.
Okay,
to
fair.
Oh, at least once. No, at least once, just so.
I wasn't giving that latter day.
No, I hear it. I hear it. It's 20. It wasn't easy.
When you listen to it, tell me what was the album like? Because I haven't listened to it. I don't think I will, but I just want to hear
what do you usually think a DB album is?
Oh,
it's just a bunch of songs of them just trying something.
It's like a mixtape that they're basically marketing as an album, but it's just a bunch of songs.
That's
what it was. Yeah,
that's what it is. Like for me, like
that's
dope. But like whenever I listen to DB, I just go for, do I like this flow, cadence? Okay. Do I like the story they tell on this one song? Okay. Sure. Save that. And then with my day. Yeah. Okay, cool. Because I know like ads, like he's gonna produce something where I'm like, okay, this is just hard. So I'm gonna like Morals Over Emotion, Super Saiyan. Like there were a couple of songs where I was like, okay, I really like this.
Fair. I haven't checked
actually,
for
there was only this couple. I was
fair.
acting like there was like 15.
That's better. Hey, listen, that's better than what I'd think. I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't checked for DB in a long minute.
But
which I think is just fair. But it's okay. It's
cool. The project was, it wouldn't be like any top 5 or anything, but it was definitely like there was some songs on there that were right.
Okay.
But you said earlier, what was the word you used? I think you said complacent. So
complacency. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to speak about Central Cee's album, which,
Oof.
like, we're doing a wrap up, and you spoke about big artists, but the fact that we spoke about Dave, you mentioned some artists earlier, you didn't mention him. I noticed that, so I was like,
no, but it's different though. I think Central Cee is different. I haven't gone back to that Can't Rush Greatness album really. I ain't gonna lie. I listened to it. I thought it was solid. But I just think I don't know, for me, just generally, I just think there's more compelling artists for me to listen to within this whole like space. So it's like I wasn't really trying to check for it. But I didn't think it was like bad.
Do you think the bar's in hell for him? Because you said it's solid.
Say that again?
You said it's solid.
Oh, what, the bar's in hell?
For him. Like, in terms of what we expect, like, this is your debut album. You're meant to be one of the faces for the... Like, and I'm gonna make a proper video where I'm gonna, like...
Go through it.
No, go through like the critique we have for black, like not black passing. I don't want to use that word.
Oh, okay. Racially ambiguous. There you go.
Yeah, racial ambiguous versus darker scale artists. Because, sorry, if Psychodrama was that, they wouldn't have a career today. If Psychodrama was that, he wouldn't be on the level he is today.
But here's the thing though, because I think I've been someone who's been very critical of him as well, but I feel like you have to understand that they're two different kind of artists.
Oh no, okay. I'll give you another artist.
Okay.
AJ Tracey is more talented than Central Cee.
Yeah, that's fine.
But I don't feel like... But the way Central Cee, like, people will speak about him like... Not people will speak about him. We shouldn't be putting in any conversations with Dave. Who else do I respect on that level?
Like Rich, like...
Yeah, we should not.
But I don't think... Okay.
I don't think people do it.
Yeah.
But sometimes I hear it and I'm just like, this doesn't... they're not doing the same type... They don't go into like the studio and do the same type of thing. And I feel like with Central Cee's album, my main critique is that every song could have been a single.
Yeah.
Which is fine. If that's how you want to make your project, whatever, cool. Every song could have been a single. But it feels like there was a level of... I can leave it on the table because I know they're gonna. But like, I don't feel like when other artists make albums,
that's not the kind of mindset that they go.
Like, it feels like people will actually say, "Listen, if this doesn't bang, you're done."
Yeah.
Especially in this country, I feel like people will actually treat people like that. Whereas with Central Cee, it's like he feels like they'll come back for myself.
Yeah. It's an interesting perspective.
And it's only the only reason I say this because sometimes you have ideas in your head and like. You won't be able to not articulate, but you won't be able to say it because it's just like an idea in your head. There's no evidence. But the fact that he released that interview with Joseph Patterson, and it was the complex interview, and he was pretty much saying, I got the beats from YouTube. I didn't want to go too deep into it. I just wanted to... But I'm like, you've already released 23. You released Wild West. All that...
There's a lot of traction.
No more leaks. Yeah. Like, you've done all the traction. You've done all the... surface level stuff. This is meant to be your out. This is what people are meant to remember for the rest of history. Like when we speak about the 2020s for UK rap,
you're supposed to be in that conversation, kind of thing.
It will even be like unjust if we don't mention you. Like you will say, "Oh, we're not giving you your flowers," but then when you're given the opportunity to create art, and it's not like it's not a money thing. It's not a connections thing. Like he could have Drake, Lil Durk. He had Skepta on there. He had Dave on there. You could have all these artists on there and then have depth in his album cuts. But it feels like he just knows. Yeah, they'll come back. And for me, that is like the perfect embodiment of complacency for me.
I think it's a very interesting perspective that you brought because I feel like that is kind of like the image in itself where it's like, I don't know, nonchalantness or... what's the word? Just kind of like that both kind of character is what's in style, innit? That's what a lot of people are trying to sell. He's just kind of buy into that because his fan base, or people who, not to say that if you listen to Central Cee, you don't care for music. I don't think that's true, innit? But I feel like there's a certain fan base who are like, I don't know, let's say like key Central Cee fans who it's like they only mainly check for him and people who are like similar to him, don't really go to like different realms or explore different sounds. So it's like, you know, he's just playing into the image. And I think with him, you kind of just have to see it as like, I don't know, he's kind of like marketing a certain person, in my opinion. It's like, for example, I think even when he was doing all that stuff in terms of like, I don't think Trap Lord Ross was like intentionally, I think it was with like academics or whatever, but it's like, I think he acknowledges that it's like Central Cee is like, you know, it's an act. But it's not that it's an act. It's like it's him, but it's also a case where it's like he's performing.
That I don't mind.
Yeah, okay.
It's just that if you're gonna, why not take the act to the furthest
Further level.
extent? That's what I only think. I don't care if you're acting.
Fair.
Like even like for example, people will say like Drake is like a comparison, but I feel like Drake at least
has
pushed it to the extent where it's like he's got Nothing Was the Same, and If Your Reader's Too Late. Like he's got projects where I feel like even if he's done the questionable ethics of the hip hop code and whatnot, at least he's pushed
there's
his
still
thing.
powerful like projects there, or projects that people come
At least I feel like he put 100% into, and he explored whatever you wanted to explore as an artist to the further extent. Where Central Cee, I just feel like there's so much complacency, and I said in like a video I made about him is that I feel like there's a lack of competition in the sense of people mention Dave because he's the only one statistically maybe on his level.
Yeah.
But and I also think as well, as an industry, like I feel like media and the things that it critiques, like I compared it to like the banking crisis, like the regulators and the banks shouldn't be cool. The regulators should very much be like
looking at this objectively.
Yeah, objectively. But I feel like with the UK, especially the media space, a Central Cee interview will change a lot of people's lives. Just as like I'm just thinking about the views on any channel, whether it be the bigger channels, my channel, whatever, it will change a lot of people's lives. And I feel like some people don't want to critique him because of that. Some people want to critique him to get like a response so they can then milk that for clips. And it doesn't feel like anyone's... I feel like people are doing it, but it feels like a lot of people, when they speak about him, it's kind of like idea of like, I don't want to step on it.
Nah, the reception to it, I was kind of just like, I was even a little bit shocked because obviously it's like similar to you, I was just kind of like, okay, like it's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
that's what I'm saying.
It's cool, but it's like, obviously in comparison to like, where we kind of like hold him now in terms of it's like, okay, cool, your numbers, just like, I guess no one can like rival it.
Yeah.
It's like we should be expecting a lot more. And I feel like a lot of the, I guess, feedback may have been a little bit exaggerated, especially like when
DJ Syntax said it was a classic.
And
then he had an interview with him. So that's where my point comes from. A classic.
I didn't want to say anything, but
I might bleep it, but
no,
but you get my point.
Yeah,
you get my
even
point.
that one day, I was like, that's his own different case, innit? That's his own different case.
Yeah.
But I will say, I feel like a lot more can be done within the media space as a whole, where it's like we actually hold people to a certain standard and not just kind of like, I don't know, I guess sugarcoat things for the sake of like relationships or like sake of like being in the good books of different artists because of like the opportunities that it can provide and whatever. Yeah. Where it's like if we keep it, like if we call it a spade, it was like it was a cool project. Yeah. I also feel like the timing of the project probably didn't help as well. Like first, obviously, off the back of the hype of like last year, first thing of the month is like, okay, fair enough. But I don't think it really helps because it's like when we have these conversations, it's like that project's going to be something that's like, I remember that.
When would have been a good time to release that project though?
A better time? For me, I guess summertime personally. But it's like, he done it when he done it. Do you know what I mean? So there's nothing really can be done about it. But I just feel like it's something that is like, because it didn't have that same impact in terms of like content and in terms of like drive, I suppose, it's like I don't really check for it, especially with like a bunch of other projects coming through that obviously we'll get into where they just offered and provided more. So I was just a bit like, do I need to go? Like I wasn't, unless I was like looking at it from like a, what's the word, like a constructive or a critical perspective, I wasn't checking that for enjoyment. I have a bunch of different other options, so it's like I wasn't really gonna bother. Again, at the time, I thought it was solid, but it just wasn't anything that really just like pushed the needle for me. Obviously, again, the reception was great, everything was great, so those numbers were cool. That's amazing. But it's like, I don't know, it wasn't anything that really kind of like resonated with me, and I think that kind of speaks to like an extra angle in terms of like how Central Cee is in terms of him, I guess, being like the voice for like us, man. So. know what I mean?
Hear my voice.
Nah, say that again.
Hear my voice.
Bro, I mean, I ain't gonna say too much, but that's my thoughts on him, innit? But yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's just a lot of. I wish we had a lot more like competition within this whole space, within like the rapping space. I can't lie, because it just kind of feels like everyone's just kind of doing their own thing, and everyone's just kind of just like hoping. But I don't know if there's like a real like obviously there's artists you can tell love this thing, innit? Yeah. But the guys who have been at the top or have been kind of cool. Not cool, but like in terms of being the guys, yeah. Whoever's been the guy, it has been a case where it's kind of seen where they've kind of taken their foot off the gas a little bit. So yeah, it's just kind of, it's a shame because you want more from the scene. You want it to actually be like properly thriving, but it's like I still feel like it is thriving though. Yeah. It's just a case where it's like it's thriving in a different way, where it's like I don't know, there's a lot more alternative acts that are pushing through. There's a lot more guys who have been doing this thing for time, but it's like now they're getting their flowers. So I don't know. It's an interesting space. I kind of like where it is right now. I think it's a case right now where, not fully, but there is an element in terms of like, if you know who the artists who are really popping are, then it's like, okay, the cream is rising to the crop kind of thing. So I'm a good with it. With it.
I guess what I wanted to ask is, what are some of your favourite projects this year? And then we'll go into like some of our favourite artists.
Favourite projects this year. Which cameras is man, that one?
That's you.
My favourite projects this year, I would say, first one that comes to mind, Novelist Audacity is freaking great. That is a great project. Obviously, it's grime, different kind of realm. Yeah. However, that brother just took it right back to the basics. It was just nangness. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it was literally just like very, very basic, but it's like the same kind of like, what's the word? The essence was just remained throughout. And even just the inclusion of Long John Rhythm, which I haven't heard in time, that was great. But it's like some of the songs in terms of just like, I don't know, Shots, Now, Tears, like there were just a lot of tracks on there that were just very, very exciting. It was a thrilling experience. Yeah, it's something that I can spin on like a regular basis. And I don't know, I feel like kind of speaks to novice. Like you know when you have artists that are just like, they're not like the main guys, but it's like they're just very good. Like you can rely on them to actually provide you a project with substance, and just like you can tell that they put their all into it. That's what I get from when I hear a Novelist tape. It's like I can just tell it's like I'm gonna leave excited and, you know, happy with what I've listened to. And yeah, that's one of them where it's like, okay, I need more people to kind of like pay attention to that one, because that one's very, very, very good. Other projects that I've really liked, I will say Find Africa Man, Nux.
Okay.
I think that one speaks to me more on a personal level because obviously I'm Igbo as well. So it's like similar heritage where it's like, okay, you're kind of telling me a similar story that I've experienced in terms of like, I don't know, acceptance of, I don't know, African names, for example, where it's like, I don't know, there's a little bit of shame that you have to it when you're younger. But sonically, that ish sounded so lush.
Don't
like
you think,
it sounded, you're gone?
It's like critique. It's like,
okay, go on.
Don't you think it was a bit on the nose?
What do you mean on the nose? I feel like that was intentional. Actually, I know what you mean. It was a bit intentional.
It was intentional, but I prefer show me rather than tell me. I feel like he kind of like, maybe this could be because like so many podcasts and whatnot have like
characterized and boxed him.
No, not even that. I'm saying like have delved into that topic already.
Okay, fair.
In terms of like having to deal with those issues and they explored that concept. So when I go to an artist, it feels like he was kind of
like really selling it.
Yeah, okay, which is fine. Like, it's impacted you, so that means it's worked to a certain degree. As long as it impacted one person, it's impacted a certain group. But I feel like for me, when I actually listen to it, like for example, when I listen to Lotus, for example, yes, Little Sims mentions the situation, but the despair and the feeling of betrayal and the feeling, I listen to a song like Lonely, and it feels like someone's in the corner of their room, crying, like they're upset. Like, how could someone do this to me? Like, it feels like the feeling of a friendship breakup. And then you listen to a song like Free, where she's speaking about thinking about like love, and she's delving into that. You see how the album doesn't necessarily say that it's about the whole situation, but
I hear that
it's like a theme throughout. Whereas the Nuts tape, it felt very much like if you was to describe it, that title is just it's just
I get what you mean. I feel like maybe it is a case where it's like I could be obviously biased in it, but I think it's just something that it's like, again, I don't really see too many people do. Obviously it was very on the nose, but I also feel like there's an element where it's like it's very intentional considering how it's like he's been kind of categorized as like just this like chill UK rapper. I feel like he kind of done this to kind of be like, yo, this is for the people them. Do you know what I mean? So it's like I kind of liked that kind of step because obviously some people will kind of look at I guess what's kind of made them. No, not what's kind of made them, but it's like they look at that, they come up and just think, okay, let me just stick to the kind of thing that has kind of got me here.
Yeah.
But I like how he kind of added like a little bit of a different spin to it where it's like, okay, I'm going to actually pay credit to my heritage and, you know, basically have that be like the core theme of my project. I feel like it was a bold move. I feel like it was a good move. I feel like a lot of the songs were very, very enjoyable. And it wasn't, I don't think, I can see why someone would say it was that on the nose, but I still feel like there were references there where it's like, okay, it might have been very, very evident. It might have been very, very apparent, but at the same time, I feel like it was also necessary. So it's like I didn't really mind it as much. But I get having the preference of like preferring a show not tell kind of vibe. But I thought it was solid though. I thought it was good.
I guess maybe because I'm Nigerian as well. So maybe someone who's not Nigerian, they might not.
Yeah. That might be a bit more like what's the word? Maybe eye-opening to them. So,
yeah, but like as someone who's from that culture, it's like
okay. No, we're all different, innit? But I don't know. I personally liked that angle. So that was one of my favorite projects. I'm trying to think of what other ones.
Do one more.
One more for me. One other favorite project of mine. Oh yeah, Blair Babies. Yeah. Blair Babies was freaking.
Yeah. I want to do like a proper like long video.
Fair. Now Blair Babies was top stuff. I think it was good in terms of like dealing with the idea of us basically suppressing a lot of the like material issues that we face with just endless consumption and you know having to basically just like constantly have it to deal with that and on top of that even just the delivery of the message not in a way that felt so like I guess preachy. It felt very organic. I liked how obviously started off with like a hip-hop vibe with I don't know, songs like the gospel. Great freaking instrumental, by the way. That was beautiful. Afro Swiller's done this thing. Then obviously going into the drill element as well.
It was like 018 or
something.
Yeah,
018 always. Luck of the Chosen, I think. Yeah, that's another drill track. All those tracks right there, solid stuff where it's like, again, it was even weird because it's like, drill tracks, we always see them as like provocative. This one is actually like telling his story properly, and it's like again,
it doesn't like it's him rapping on a drill beat, but it's not.
Yeah,
the theme of the album is still throughout that song. Where it's not like him saying, "I'm gonna get this person."
Of course, no, but that's the thing. It's like it's a very, very interesting shift, but it's like it's kind of cool to see it be kind of repurposed in a way a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not to say that all drill music is obviously just about but it's like it's also kind of cool to see it being using that kind of angle. I think that was a very, very cool track in terms of just
especially because like drill came from Lambeth as well.
Oh yeah.
So like it's damn near like
100%.
heritage.
It's a full circle kind of thing.
Full circle, yeah.
And I think I also just with even same thing with like Lambeth LA, the vulnerability is like I don't know, very commendable. Like it was interesting because I was listening to what was it? It was I think something. What was the third to last track was like Do It All Again, I believe, and then the next one was called How Many Training Days. It was interesting because it's like both of them could have been outros. I was kind of intrigued to why he done both of them because like they basically so Do It All Again was like a bit more of like a happier tone in terms of like ending it. It's like okay, with all the things that I've basically suffered, I'd run it all again anyways. Kind of like romanticizing the struggle kind of thing. Then the next track is literally just him saying, "Yo, I ain't gonna lie, on any other day." Do you get like? Do you know there was like I was just kind of thinking, okay, like how come you decided to? But it feels like they both kind of do the same thing or similar thing at least. So I was kind of like wondering,
like different paths.
So like how come you decided to include both? And then it's like you hear the last track where it's like, you know, we have to basically show people the rule. Like that's our responsibility as rappers. So it's like, you know, you have to show the both sides to it where it's like, okay, I can romanticize, you know, the issues that I've gone through, but it's also at the same time, it's like there's issues that I face where it's like it will actually, I don't know, kind of lead me to, you know, wanted to do certain things that, you know, we won't even go into for the sake of, I don't know, YouTube regulations or whatever. But I kind of, I like that angle. I enjoyed, the whole project was very, very enjoyable to listen to. I want to delve into it more as well. But yeah, that was a very, very, it was a fun project in my opinion. And he's probably one of my, and I think you want to even delve into it. Yeah. He would probably be my rap of the year as well.
Okay.
He would be my rapper of the year. Between, because it'll be between him or Scorcher, but Scorcher don't really count because MC.
No, you can
count.
Yeah, you can count.
Alright, cool.
But
between them two, firstly.
just touch on that, like to the Sibo aspect. Like, what was his project last year called?
Lambert from LA.
Yeah. I didn't listen to that because there wasn't like what I do personally. Like, I don't just because something's promoted, I don't just listen to it. I try to get to know the person, whoever, before. Not get to know them, but like I want them to market so like I can feel like, okay, why is this for me? Whether it be through singles, interviews, whatever. And I discovered his TikTok like last year. That was like a good like insight into his like thought process.
His context and stuff.
But I wasn't really music-wise. I was like, I enjoy like your commentary, but I don't know if I necessarily want to listen to you as a musician. Then I listened to Afro Surrealist's tape.
Oh, what, by British?
Yeah. And then I feel like he was the best performer on that
100%.
tape. So then I was like, okay, I'm interested. So then I went to listen to Blair Babies. I was like, okay, this is like, you're building good momentum. And I enjoyed Juk as well as a single. So I was like, okay, cool. This tape is for me. And then for me, it feels like there's so much depth in terms of the idea that a generation of people are affected by Tony Blair's decisions and how we also speak about like drill as like, oh, okay, drill is the government closed down youth clubs and this led to this and this led to that. And then people would debate that and whatnot. But it feels like he's just speaking about how he's not necessarily, because I'm sure there was probably an opportunity where he could have maybe repped something or whatever. There's a bunch of people from Lambeth who went down different paths. But I feel like with Blair Babies, it's just him speaking about his experiences. And just like, as a black youth, just the different experiences he's faced. And I'm really excited to hear like what he would do with an album, because I feel like he put a lot. If this is a mixtape, I'm like,
it basically feels kind of like an album.
I feel like he's put the effort into a mixtape that I would expect from some people's album. And then this is, again, going back to Central Cee, this is why I feel like this is
You're not gonna let that guy rest, right?
No, but like, if like we can't like not have the
like
it's
we
like
can't just step over it.
Next year that we're gonna have conversations. Who's the biggest rapper in the UK, or who's this, who's that?
And we're not gonna know who to say.
No, but like his name's gonna be in.
But it won't feel warranted, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So I just want to be like fair, and just to say like I feel like that's the effort I kind of expect from artists. Where I don't think Sibo's funding is like 1% of Central Cee's in terms of budget wise. But I feel like there was more love put into that project than I feel like Essential's done in terms of the actual music, not the marketing, not the this, not that, just the... Because I know he has the talent, Central Cee, but I don't feel like he
applies it the best.
Yeah, exactly. That's my only thing. Like, you can speak about whatever, he can speak about whatever he wants. He can release whatever single, whether it be like that Booger song that he's released recently.
I ain't listened to it.
That for me could have slipped into his album, and I would have known maybe.
Yeah,
but that's terrible for me. Like, your album is meant to be like
something distinguished.
Yeah, like
something separate. It's supposed to represent
like when
like
you think
era.
about a song like Kendrick Lamar, for example, there isn't a song like Good Kid, Mad City that you could just replace with another Kendrick Lamar. Like, it wouldn't make sense. Or To Pimp a Butterfly, like, you know how like the whole album just wouldn't make sense if you just replace one song. Like, if you replace one song from To Pimp a Butterfly with Untitled or Mask, it just it wouldn't be.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be the story
it wouldn't
flow
kind
the
of
same.
go along.
But I feel like with Central Cee, it was damn near like a mixtape level effort. And then, but it's marketed as this album that everyone needs to listen to, or you're a hater. So
you're speaking to the kind of aspect of rap that I don't think it's necessarily anything that, I think it's obviously a key element that everyone acknowledges, but it's just it's something that I guess we've kind of seen kind of decline a little bit. It's that element of hunger. That element of hunger is so pivotal to what makes a musician. And I think it's just a case where it's like, maybe for a Central Cee, it's something that he's obviously had that phase with 23 and the other mixtape. Where it's like, okay, that was a lot more present. But I think he's already reached the stage where it's like, I don't know, with Arsene on the decline, he's had his ascendancy. So it's like, he doesn't really feel like he's competing with anything or anyone. So it's like, or he might respect to like a couple people, but it's like for the most part, no one's really challenging him. And I think he wanted to kind of like potentially make that like a key element to his album, and have that be something that people gravitate to and like, because I don't know, maybe that whole kind of braggadociousness is like, or braggadocio is like very appealing. or that he thought that would be appealing. He thought that would be something that would like resonate because it's something a bit different. But it's like he hasn't like proved everything yet. So it kind of like falls a little bit on deaf ears in a way. So again, it leaves a lot to be desired. But again, in comparison to like a Seba, where it's like, and with all of his peers as well, everyone is basically at the beginning of their career. Like they're the beginning of their journeys. That's another element to what makes that whole scene so alluring, where it's like you want to root for those guys, you want to actually vouch for them, because it's like they're just getting started and they're putting so much in it. Obviously, you know, hopefully 5-10 years down the line, this kind of energy doesn't dwindle. But I think that's an element to why we are seeing a little bit of that shift, where it's like, I don't know, we're seeing more people looking at this whole underground thing. I don't even like that title, but you know, this whole kind of like space of like new people emerging, everyone's kind of like rooting for them, man. The eyes are there, you know, they're gaining a lot of traction, and I don't know, it's exciting times, and that's kind of gonna, it probably might affect, maybe not a Central Cee, but guys who are like, again, previously considered to be on this similar level, probably gonna be something that they look at and gonna be like, okay, cool, I need to actually, hopefully, pull their socks up and actually respond to the kind of shift. But it is what it is, man. We'll just have to see what his next project is saying in terms of Central Cee.
I was gonna say something else.
Yeah. No, that's cool, man. But, leave it for something else, man. Leave it for another video, bro.
Leave it for another video. Yeah. But to speak about some of the best rappers this year.
Yeah. If I want your favorite projects,
should we do?
Did you touch on your favorite projects, or do you want to?
Oh yeah, I could. My favorite project, I'll say Lotus.
Okay.
I like. Again, I think I mentioned it a bit earlier, but the exploration. I like it when an artist feels like they're really delving into whatever feeling. Like, even if you're going to rap about violence, if you're going all the way into it, I really enjoy that in terms of exploring themes, why you feel like that, why someone might have done you dirty, whatever. I felt like Lotus did a great job of just Little Sims building a world of why she was not only hurt by the inflow situation, questioning herself. I really enjoyed that part of the album. I enjoyed the fact that, again, I wouldn't say I'm a Little Sims fan, but I appreciate her work. Like,
why?
I feel like fan is a very, like, you know when you meet a fan.
Okay.
Like, I wouldn't say I'm a part of that crowd. I feel like.
So
if she releases a project, I'll listen to it, but I wouldn't say like I know every Little Sims fact.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, no, but
not every Little Sims fact. Well,
I don't know.
I'm a new shape. I'm not like.
Cool. Okay, so you're new to this, but it's like you haven't. Okay, cool. So you didn't listen to like Simbi when it came out, kind of thing.
No.
Or like even before. Okay.
No.
Fair,
so
fair,
that's why like what's the album before this?
With like
the white.
Yeah. No, thank you. I believe.
Yeah, something like
No, thank you.
And then Drop 7 I listened to, but I would say that's when I started. I don't know why I said Drop 7. Yeah, you know what? What I'm saying. But like, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that album. I really enjoyed that album. I think Grime Scene Savior, in terms of one of my favorite moments this year, I really enjoyed that from Chip. I think Chip for me is in my top 3 best performing rappers this year, because Chip sometimes when he does the weed stuff, or when like he'll be rapping, but I don't really feel like there's much purpose behind it. Like, it's just him showing that he can do it. I felt like this year, it felt very like there was purpose behind everything. Like Grime's not in the best place. Let me restore that feeling. We're not trying to be the new young kids. We're trying to show that we're more so legacy acts. Where Grime Scene Saviors, where he's bringing out Skepta, I think Flo Dan's on that, but a bunch of people. And it just reminds you of that old school feeling. And it feels like he was building that lane, and then the actual tape itself, I really enjoyed that. Like Da Vinci Code, Legend
was a good song.
Legend,
well.
like there was a bunch.
I don't know why, but that was a good song.
That was a good song. There was a bunch of just good songs that I could just appreciate. Like, if I wanted to listen to Grime, that was there for me, fair. And it was at the highest level, and I really appreciate that project. So those two, The Boy Who Played the Harp is one of my most streamed albums. But would I say
it's your favorite? I think it's more.
I mean, I bought the vinyl, so I have.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah, so I feel like I have to say. I feel like it's a great. Like, it's like an Infinity. Like, it's not your favorite Infinity Stone, but it's a part of.
It's a key one. Like,
it's a
not
part of the
necessarily
story.
Just because of the music, but because of the story that it kind of tells. So
and I feel like, especially after this 4-year break, it explains a lot about what that 4-year break was about.
100.
And I feel like we don't. I know like artists, they're not necessarily like 9-to-5ers, but we don't really give them like
grace,
annual leave or
anything.
Like,
they don't get enough.
They just need to be working,
grace, bro. They don't
working.
get enough grace.
They need to be doing concerts. They need to be doing interviews all the time. Where it's like, no, like me personally, I'm the health of the practitioner before just releasing music.
Yeah.
Like when Drake is going on tour every year, I don't.
Yeah,
like,
that's not healthy.
I don't think that's healthy for it. Like the guy said he had like a back injury and then he's back on it. Like so, like to me that's borderline inside. I don't want these guys to like die and then be like, he was in a terrible health condition when he was alive.
For the sake of, you know.
Yeah, just for the sake of like money and stuff. But I really enjoyed the boy you played the Harp. Trying to think if there's anything off. I want to do like off the top of my head, not like looking.
Fair. Let me see.
I'm trying to think. But I think every other album I listened to this year, they had moments, but I wouldn't say I necessarily loved those projects. And in terms of like the best rappers, we'll include MCs and all of that into.
Okay.
For me, I'll go Chip, because like what I said earlier with the Grand Scene Savior and all the moments, and even his invite only freestyle, I feel like he's kept a momentum where, not even kept a momentum, he's built a momentum himself where at the start of the year he had this tape and then he's just kept
even now with the whole Amber stuff as well.
Yeah, like he's just kept on. He's just kept on going. He's just kept on. It's just been quality. So I'll say Chip. I would say I don't even know if I want to put them in newcomer though.
Who?
I'll say Tiago Brazy. I think I made a video.
Yeah.
I made a video and like
he's been hitting. I ain't gonna lie. He's been hitting.
Yeah, I feel like I appreciate artists. Okay, not gonna mention his name again, but I appreciate artists who it feels like everything. Like it feels like they really put their soul into
100
their music. So like every time he releases a song, it feels like every single element he's like looked over it, made sure it's good for the fan. It's like told a story, even if it's like a surface level story. At least it's telling a story. The beats are very much like no one. If someone else made those type of beats, you would be like, no, that's like
that's his thing.
Like he's very much curated his style to where when he releases a project, whether it be next year or in 2 years, I'm actually looking forward to it because I feel like that's someone who cares about crafting something. And like he's just, it reminds me of like, back in the day, I don't know if it was like every month, but he released like a song maybe every 2 months, every month. And people are still...
Yeah, the traction's still there. Like the
traction's still there, whereas like a lot of people would tell us, release every day.
Yeah.
Release one song, 2 songs every week.
Yeah, I feel like our consumer like preferences in terms of like how we want artists to kind of just be like on it. Like for example, when people be talking about like for example like Lancey Fall's momentum, where it's like these guys have kind of like they didn't strike when the iron was hot, like all that kind of stuff. It's not that deep. Like these men aren't robots. A couple people obviously spoke about the kind of demands and the expectations that a lot of artists and musicians have within this space, where it's like we expect them to be present all the time. That could obviously be a thing where it's like it speaks to the what's the word the parasocial relationships that people have with these artists, where it's like they feel like, I don't know, we're boys, where it's like, these are people and music isn't something that we can just like regenerate any single...
They're providing a service.
That's what I'm saying.
Not like, they're not your friend.
Exactly. Yeah. And then on top of that, it's like musicians who really care for the art understand that it's a process. It's not something that they can just deliver on a whim. So it's like we need to, again, speaks to the Dave album, deliver these man grace. So I think, as you mentioned, we kind of went on a little bit of a tangent, but Tiago Brazy, great shout. I think he's been on a crazy tear. I ain't gonna lie.
I wouldn't necessarily I wouldn't necessarily call him like this crazy lyricist per se.
Oh no.
But I feel like every lyric like
is intentional. It's memorable.
And like you know when like a lyric hits you, like he knows how to do that very well. It's like he'll say something and you'll just be like, damn, like I felt that. I felt like
it's the rap free Mumsy in my maths book. I was like, hey,
I can't relate to that. I would hear more about that,
but like fair enough.
But and then again, if he releases an interview or like something, I'd want the interviewer to like explore these. And if it's like an hour, 2 hour long interview, it's not like I'm just consuming it for the sake of consuming it.
100.
I'm actually listening to hear the story behind what inspired the art, and I feel like that's why for me he's someone in my UK best rappers of the year list.
Only thing I'll say before you finish, stop with the 90-second tunes. I don't like that personally.
I don't want that no project.
Huh? Yeah, I don't want that no project. Don't do no 90-second tunes, please. I don't because like the 90-second tunes thing, like it's like I get it, it's nice. You know, a little thrill, but it's no, like this can't be the long game strategy. Let's please, like 2 minutes 15.
The hook is twice.
Do you know what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying. You have one hook, one verse, and then one hook. If you're even lucky, no more. Please, that's all I have to say. Yeah, that's it. I'm with you on that. Yeah, that one. It's annoyed me, bro. I think it was what song was it with Grandad? Yeah, the most recent tune. I was thinking this is a great tune, and it just ends. I'm like, I know a little bit of me feels it's like a stream farming tactic, but you know that's whatever. But yeah, I'm at this point where I don't want you to just talk for the sake of talking. Like I want if a song has to be 2 minutes, cool, make it 2 minutes. Yeah. But yeah, I get what you're saying. You're producing these like amazing beats, and it's like you're just gonna use it for 90 seconds.
Yeah, I know.
Like, come on, bro, ski, like, bro, let's do more. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. So I've said Chip. I've said.
You're not gonna say Scorcher?
I've made a video of Scorcher, but yeah,
okay.
Scorcher's had a very good year.
Been solid. Very good. Like, he's been everywhere.
Yeah, I know. He's
been everywhere, bro.
He's had a very good year. I'm trying to think.
A lot of those guys that are like within the whole Trash Presents. Do you know about Trash Presents?
Huh?
Do you know about them, man? Trash Presents? No? Freaking hell. They're like a bunch, like, so with them, man, it's like they're more like a grime collective, innit?
Okay.
But it's like, again, they're also kind of everywhere. They had obviously they're all like individual artists, but it's like usually when it's like a TP set, they're always just, it's usually the same or the kind of similar batch of MCs that basically spit. Them man are just like, I know them man are just out there thinking like no one can rival them, man. Like obviously it's like you've got the OGs, but it's like in terms of people who are like new gen, no one is rivaling them. Those are like top of the pops in terms of like MCing. What's it called? Crafty, Mac, of course, Cruz, Renz, Duppy, like all these guys, super good MCs. Again, it speaks to like when I was like first engaging with grime in terms of like the guys who were like, I guess, the 2016, 2015 period where it's like coming back again, YGG lot, MTP guys, it's that same kind of energy. It feels a little bit better. I feel like the YGG MTP period was like, it was when them man were just having fun. Like it was very, very fun. These men are coming like, yo, we can actually spit, you know, and we're gonna have like a similar kind of angle where it's like we're gonna kind of be bubbly with it in times, but it's like, no, we're gunmen. Like we're actually like, that sounds a bit violent. But we're actually gonna be that showing you, man, that's like, yo, we're diligent with it. We don't play. Like we're actually good at this MCing thing, and that's the kind of energy that I like from them guys, honestly. So yeah, they have to get a shout out in terms of like if we're going to talk about like best. They've had a good year. They've had a very good year. I'll say that.
I'm trying to actually let me
just sometimes you have to. I'm trying to think because even me, I was kind of struggling a little bit, but it's like I had two names that were like definitely there in terms of like best rappers. I think some people put him as a rapper, but it's like I don't. He's not. He's more of a singer.
We're gonna have that conversation.
Oh, okay, yeah, because even him, like it's like him. He's had a great year as well, but it's like that is a singer, bro. Like he's a singer, but it's like he can rap and bar as well, but that is a singer.
I don't expect it from him.
What do you mean? Oh, as in you don't expect him to bar?
Yeah, like
of course.
I just expect him to just express himself however
that's
he
what
wants.
I'm saying, but it's good though.
Yeah.
It's good. Like I just wouldn't categorize him as that. Trying to think who else would there be.
No, I'll put Dave in there.
You're gonna put Dave in there?
I think like whether it be chapter 16, do you know it's not like the classic rapping at a crazy level. When you actually sit down and like listen to it, like, no, this guy's barring his head off.
No, chapter 16 was a good
and even the boy played the heart, like the way the flows in his pockets he's just in, it's just like this is just standard now.
Fair.
Like my standard is like some of you lot's best, so that's why I was saying.
And the only thing is that I don't know. My main thing is that, and I don't know if you're even gonna air this, but the first song when I first heard History, yeah. I'm gonna mention it or speak about it in my own time. I was kind of like I was a bit concerned. I didn't like it. Firstly, okay, I was a little bit like. Have you? It didn't.
Was it the James Blake of it all? What exactly?
No, it wasn't a James Blake. It was just like the way he was barring. It just didn't feel natural, in my opinion. It kind of felt like okay, like the brick. It's like I can hear the brick. In my opinion.
Oh, it sounded rusty.
It sounded rusty. And I'm trying to think if there was another song. I can't remember how Selfish went. But like
What
there were.
if I don't know things I regret.
Oh yeah. That was
I think like theme wise, that's probably like. Yeah, that
was alright.
In terms of like when he was at his lowest, it feels like that song's perfect.
Yeah, it kind of like embodies that.
That's why I really like that song.
But there were moments where I was just a bit like, I didn't think it was like the best lyrical showing that he's done since like I don't know, like a psychodrama or a Game Over personally. But I think it's each to their own on that one. Again,
Do you know, it's because he's done like so many like. When you think of Thiago Silva, that's you would say that's grime, right?
Of course,
I would say that's grime.
Yeah.
Then he's done UK rap. You would say he's done like that neo drill where it's the Central Cee type of drill with split decisions. He's done. He can do like introspective type rap on like lower beats where they be on Two Birds No Stone. Like
he's
running out of things.
I get what you mean, but I don't think we can do the whole run out of things. And
no, I'm not saying this is an excuse, but I'm saying because like I still think he has the themes where it makes it new, but in terms of like flows and what makes it elite, I feel like reinvented himself, especially if that's your first showing for the past 4 years. Obviously, he has features here and there.
Yeah,
like Magneto and Xavier, that was a crazy song.
That was a good song. Yeah, that was a good song.
So like he's still at that level. It's just that he's not reminding us as frequently as he used to. I guess.
I think I don't know. I feel like
hasn't dropped a freestyle in a while.
I mean, I don't know what need, because I feel like the freestyle thing is kind of again. It shouldn't be reserved for the guys who are upcoming, but it's like again, it's kind of a similar thing where it's like he's proved himself. He doesn't really need to do like a freestyle on like a. I don't know. Yeah, no.
But we can get to that.
Yeah. But what's it called? I think there's like a certain flow that obviously kind of happened when we're all in this together came true. Well, alone this together came true, and I was like, there was a change in like I guess the delivery. Since then, I've been a bit like, I don't know how I feel about this in comparison to like how he was on like a psychodrama and all those past other EPs that he has. So since then I've kind of just been like, I don't know how I feel about Dave as much. I obviously still respect him in terms of like how key he was in terms of the freestyles I listened to during my childhood. It's like that's always gonna be there. New Dave is like, I don't know, it's interesting. It's like he's made it, but I guess the hunger is there. It's been proven in terms of this album.
I wouldn't even call it. I'll say like the care.
Okay,
the care is there. But I wouldn't even call it. I don't. Yeah,
it's not hunger. It's not hunger. But I hear what you're saying. It's like the passion is still it's still present. How it's delivered, I don't know how I feel about it as much, because obviously it's like I have a preference in it. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. That's how I feel about that whole.
Who would you say is better? This is just a random.
Yeah, go on.
Potter or Dave?
Ooh, there was one like snippet that got released the other day, and I was just like, bro.
Because when Potter said I'm on the album, I was thinking, God, thank you. This is what I've always wanted.
Oh, bro, I mean,
this is the like, because like when Dave was just on the runway, he was just murking everybody he was on the feature with. I was like, Potter.
Yeah.
Do you know the levels? Because like when Potter raps with somebody who like raps, guys levels like him and Rimsey on
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I know what.
There's a song on his tape.
Nah, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name, but I know it's something. I think something called. But I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
No, not even that one. There's one on his.
On a newer tape.
No, on Thanks for Waiting.
Oh, Rimsey.
Yeah, Rimsey CEO Flow. Oh my gosh.
Is that?
Listen.
Hold on, no.
Listen to
that. No, you're right. Yeah.
CEO
Flow.
They were going mental. And I was like, no. Potter's one of them ones where it's like, but even America, I don't even care. I don't care who.
Potter's been one of them ones, though.
On this planet, bro.
Potter's been one of them ones. Like, he has been, he's another one that's literally been on a tear.
And that's how I know I'm not like race or like.
Yeah, of course. It's not race. Yeah,
that's how I know. Because he's one of those ones where I was like, nah, I'm sorry.
Nah, if someone was to say he's like one of the best, I wouldn't argue with it, because it's like at times I genuinely feel that way, innit? Again, I think for me with his thing, I'd say I don't know, I can't decide who's better, innit? But
yeah, maybe it's a longer conversation.
It's another conversation that I can delve into. But I would say, who would I prefer to listen to? I would say I prefer to listen to Potter personally. I don't think that's crazy.
Do you know what it is?
I think Potter's got songs for days.
I think because of what I do, Dave I listen to Dave more.
Fair.
But in terms of like actual consumption,
broski,
like
on a general whim,
Porter hasn't released a tape, and I've listened to him. Like he's one of my top
got like
five.
a good 5 tapes that you can go to. TD 1, 2, 3. Thanks for waiting. Thanks for hating. Bro.
Real Back in Style.
I don't know how I didn't even mention that, bro. All 6 of those, you can genuinely spin any of like majority of those songs and be like,
or at least have like
we're
a
good.
10-song rotation.
Yeah, bro. Majority of the stuff from TD1 I can spin naturally, and I don't
especially this
feel
winter period,
bro, winter, summer, it doesn't matter, bro. That brother, nah. I think Potter is like, because I don't know what it is with Potter. Potter is just one of them like ones where it's like for him, especially early Potter, it's like he had the right combination of like hunger, drive, but it also felt it was smooth. Like it was kind of, it was gliding. Like in terms of how he can just like, I don't know, there was like a certain bounce and like pep in his step that he had where it's like, it's like he does it with panache, like for real, like for real.
What's that freestyle he did with?
What is it, KB or is it the Fire in the Booth one?
The kind of fight in the booth one where it's him, Stormzy, and he's rapping, and he's rapping on the
I think it's Tupac. Yeah, nah, that like, phenomenal.
For me, when like someone can rap over a beat that's already like lyrically, like his Lemon Pepper freestyle, the guy like he does this.
Nah, he's crazy, man.
He does this.
Nah, Potter's like been one of them ones for time, and I think the image plays a big part into why he doesn't get as much praise or as much plaudits as he. I think
it's more so like consistency and eyes at the same time. That's
Elaborate.
So like TD1, TD2, like the UK loves it, but I wouldn't say he was necessarily at that mainstream.
Yeah,
everyone's looking
100%.
at it.
It's like if you know at that stage.
Yeah, exactly. And then when you get to Thanks for Waiting, like for example, some people don't like Thanks for Waiting. Some people don't like as a feature.
Yeah.
And then you get Real Back in Style, which is like, for me, a classic.
Yeah.
But then he went to prison, so that he couldn't really
take advantage of like the whole thing.
And then you get Thanks for Hating, which I like some songs in it, but people then don't
like some of it. Yeah.
So it's like, he doesn't have maybe like a 2-3 project stretch where everyone's looking at him and it's cold. But then it's like, if you listen and you like rap, you'll think, no, this guy's cold.
Bro, that's what I'm saying.
So
I think a lot of people just haven't checked back for the whole Training Day series personally. And I think you definitely should.
No, but like when you like I went back and revisited it. When you listen to it, it's like still good, but I feel like you need to love rap to do that.
Oh, okay.
Whereas like
it's not gonna appeal to everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but that's a different conversation though.
No, but I feel like Real Back in Style.
Oh, still done that. Still achieved the whole appealing to everyone while still having that same content. Okay.
But it's not you. And then if I was to write down like what it is, you would like if I was marketing that, people would be like, this is a bit too good. This is a bit too. But I feel like it still pushed through that barrier. Whereas his other projects, it felt like obviously there were mixtapes as well, so it's like they weren't really for like mass appeal.
I think I hear what your point is, and I think that's something that again I don't usually consider as much because again I'm just a fan of rapping it. So it's like I understand the whole marketability aspect, and I still feel like Real Back in Style is a classic as you mentioned. I will always go back to the whole Training Day series on a personal thing. Maybe that's just because of like the period of time that I was in during those when I was like first listened to those projects personally. But those three mixtapes are like so impactful in terms of like how I view this whole UK rap team in terms of like they're not like the standard, but it's like I'm thinking, okay, what kind of project when I listen to a project, what kind of project will give me that similar feeling to when I heard those 3 projects personally. It's not the only way that I look at rap, obviously, but it's also just a case where it's like I'm looking for like a certain feeling where it's like I'm thinking, yo, this brother is like crazy. Whenever I listen to TD1, whenever I listen to those 3 projects, that like without fail, no matter how many times, I always get that feeling basically. So it's like that's the kind of standard that I want to. That I look for whenever I listen to other bits of music. So
I think where like Americans say like Nas makes you feel like he's like you're in Queensbridge.
Yeah, bro.
That's how I feel. I feel like I'm embarking.
You're in the gas going. Yeah, you're in the gas going to stay, bro.
That's how you like. Before I even like start, like when you get older, you actually have to go to these areas and stuff. Obviously, they're not as like crazy as like the rappers are portraying it. But when he's painting those pictures, it just feels like you could just feel the struggle and the environment and whatnot, and how like you have to make it because like either someone like him is gonna either murder him or do something crazy, or like there's just so many factors that he has to deal with, which is interesting. Yeah, he was a great storyteller.
Nah, 100. But I feel like there's just from this year, that's a void that I feel like we haven't really.
I mean, people like Little Torment, Young Steph released, as you said, Tiny Goose released.
Yeah.
And I feel like they had songs here and there which I really...
It didn't feel, not
really,
throughout the whole
but
thing.
not like projects where it's like, no, this is something I want to champion.
Yeah.
There were some songs like Keep the Change.
The rollout conversation is a different one. I feel like there's a lot more that can be desired within that whole scene personally, but...
What do you think stops it from...
What, like flourishing?
Yeah.
I don't want to go into it because it's like I'm a reserve it for
something
else, but it's all good.
No worries.
Nah, reserve it, don't worry.
I wanted to ask you, what were some maybe your favourite moments, least favourite moments? For me, it's a moment that I just didn't like was the Skepta calling out America.
Oh, that was terrible. Yeah, that was awful.
Because I feel like
that was bad.
As like we will probably aspire to be like tastemakers,
that was pointless.
Music journalists, like maybe one day it will make sense where we have a lot of legends, but you going against Joyner Lucas.
They were both just
as a war, even as like a war tactic. That's horrible.
They were both just trying to promote their,
and then even like the comparisons, like when you think about it critically, like I even like saying that because I don't want to sound like pretentious over, but like when you think about like, then we appreciate Chip. Everyone appreciates Lil Wayne. If they don't appreciate Chip, like if you're gonna make that comparison, it's not gonna make sense to them. So it's like already, who are you arguing? Are you arguing for them to accept us?
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, we just know that. I could tell you before you even send out a tweet, that's not gonna happen. Are you doing it for us to appreciate artists more?
I think again,
there's probably a better way to do that.
It's like I think another thing is also just the case where it's like there was no tension between the two ever.
Yeah.
It literally just spurted out of nowhere. There was no storyline compared to like, I don't know, the whole Ambush and Chip thing is completely different because it's like they're from adjacent areas. They were on a song together. So it's like everything coming, like it's a storyline that makes sense in terms of why there's actually
whether you
tension.
think it's a great storyline.
There's actually a storyline. This one is just a case where it's like, why? I think it didn't make sense, and other people jumping in, it was just a bit weird. So that wasn't great. I think Skepta's a weird one because it's like, again, he's another one where it's like I feel like he's too good to be doing these kind of conversations, and I especially for like the next album, it's like I want to be hearing some type of like, it's like I'm hearing growth, but it's like I want that to be like a key element for like the next project as well. I feel like when I was hearing the song with like Flo Milli and like a couple of these other tunes, like they're calm, but it's like it's also.
I really like the song with Plateaued Max though.
I haven't listened to that. I ain't listened to that.
What's it called? It's very honestly like streaming music. I'm not the biggest fan of the concept of it, but honestly,
that one was alright.
Well, it's just like Plateaued Max produced it. And I was like, no, this is
a song with like Finesse Kid. That was calm.
Yeah, that was a very good song.
Yeah,
obviously, it had this trend as well.
Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like I want to have like similar to how like Dave's had his growth, how Porter's had his growth. I want Skepta to kind of go down that same lane as well, but I don't know. I'm just one person in it. It's like he's not gonna have just me and man. So
yeah, I think as well. It's like because he's our number one. Most people's like unanimous number one. It's like a lot of people don't want to necessarily. People call him out when he does things, but like we still just go back to the love straight away. But I guess in terms of expecting more from him, because he's already a legend, it's like...
What more can you expect? But that's I hate that mentality.
No, it's a bad... I'm not saying I don't even agree with the mentality.
Yeah. But it's what people kind of steer to doing.
Like, if he does something great, we love him.
Any type of bad moments, we'll just brush.
Under the rug, straight.
Yeah, that needs to change in the new year, 100%.
Because I don't know, I feel like we still treat him like... microphone champion, Konnichiwa, will always remember you. That's the Skepta will remember. Everything else after, we'll just add it if it's good.
This next project,
it's like Jordan on the Wizards.
This next project.
Well, if you drop 40, you remember it. If not, forget it.
Nah, this next project, we have to. I can't lie. We have to.
You want to expect something from it?
100%. Like, it's not to say that because I don't even think because even for me, I'm still this is like nearly 2 years from that moment, or even a year from that moment. That whole like. Can we grow a whole organic underground? Is that still? I was still confused as to why he said like that. I don't get it. Maybe again, it's not a case of like I don't know the ins and outs in terms of what's going on, but I was still confused as to why he said that. So there's just a couple like other like underlying things where I'm just a bit like I don't know what's going on kind of thing. But I'm hoping the new album and the new music that he makes in the future is gonna like answer to some of that stuff, because it's like, I don't know, there's just still some things I'll just be like why'd you go with that move? Like, you know, what made you go with that verse kind of thing? But that's whatever, innit? That is whatever.
I hear that. Well, yeah, what were some of your favourite moments?
Favourite moments? I'll say it was
could
more
be
like,
songs, could be albums.
bro, it wasn't even albums. It was more just like even just like All For One. That was a good moment. That was top. I ain't gonna lie. Like seeing Slew perform, seeing TR perform, 2-3-AZ, Amanda Spence, seeing all those guys kind of like do their thing, that was dope. And it was also just a good day in terms of like, I don't know, just seeing people and stuff. So that was kind of cool.
I think like when you like, you know, like where they'll do like documentaries on like, oh, Drake in 2007.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those.
It was like one of those things where it's
100%.
like, no, I'm actually witnessing.
New guys that are gonna
one
be,
of these guys will be a superstar.
100%.
You could actually see it with like the crowd.
Like Tiago Brazy.
Like there's like let's say there's 100 people. It feels like there's 1,000 people just screaming like this person. Like, and you can just see it like growing where it's like using Tiago Brazy as an example.
Pinnacle moment.
Yeah, went from that to like Wireless to like, and then it just. And I think I went to Antag Fest as well, which was like really good for me to like see, because you know like people will say the alt scene, the underground scene, whatever, but actually to
seeing it, unravel
when you actually see it, you realize like no, these guys, it's not like 5 people in their bedroom.
This
like,
is real.
This is like they could like, what's out in its capacity like?
I don't know.
It was a large venue, and it was packed out. People, and Jim Legacy was meant to perform, but he didn't. But people were still there singing all the songs.
Even,
Young E-Man, all these type of guys.
Even Twisted Fest, similar thing as well. That was that would be another moment for me where it's like I was seeing guys that obviously I haven't seen in time and stuff, but it's like seeing again. I feel like the moments for me have been, I'm seeing people around my age, around my generation, actually like, you know, take the steps to make their dreams reality. And I think following those journeys has been like a very, very interesting thing to kind of follow along this year. On like the more like, let's say OG I'd say the whole Dizzy Wiley set with Mac 10, that was pretty cool. I think Mac 10's had a couple cool moments from this year, but that was nice to kind of actually see them rekindle and obviously just do it outside in the public, near Shoreditch and stuff. So that was dope. Those would be like my main cool great moments from this year, I ain't gonna lie. Because I feel like the year has produced a lot of good music. It's produced a lot of, I don't know, I feel like it's shown like a lot of growth for a lot of musicians. Similar to you, that I do feel like there's also a little bit of me that's kind of like, I still want more. But I'm kind of waiting for next year to be that.
I guess I feel like this is like not a filler year, but it feels like a year where people are laying the groundwork for, especially the new guys. It feels like people are laying, like even with Dave, for example, I feel like this Dave album is meant to make the next album better, I think. 100. I don't think it's going to be like this happy, lucky album, but I feel like it'll be less depressing, or the themes won't be as heavy as this one, I think, because I feel like this one was just, I need to get this off my chest. This is why I've been feeling the way I've been feeling for the past 4 years. I feel like what Tiago Brazy's building, obviously Sebo hasn't released an actual debut album yet. So like, whether that be next year, whether that be Potter releasing the album next year,
that would be good.
Whether that be
still, what's it called?
Stormzy hasn't
Joe
released.
James ain't dropped, Bex ain't dropped. There's actually a couple people that haven't, Cassis that ain't dropped.
Yeah,
there's a lot of different musicians that haven't actually done that in this year. So, yeah, man, I'm excited, boy.
Yeah, it's like next year is like looking to be like a really good year. Obviously, we've mentioned Sebo, and I would hope like maybe actually next year, maybe 2 years, he release a debut album.
But that boy needs to rest, bro. He's putting his heart on his sleeve. He needs to. Hey.